Well, if you guys have not been living under a rock, the Taxstone case is actually finally coming to an end. And as of yesterday, Taxstone got sentenced to 35 years in the state of New York. Not to mention that he still has to hear what his sentence is for his federal gun case. But I say this to say, when keeping it real, this is what happens when keeping it real goes wrong. Had Taxstone not been harassing Troy Ave online for continuous years, he wouldn't be going to prison for 35 years. And the same with Troy Ave. Troy Ave he hasn't been sentenced yet, but he wouldn't be about to get sentenced had he checked his ego at the door. Prime example of why it's okay to walk away from situations, or just simply avoid situations, or just stop harassing people online. Because this whole case, as mentioned in my 2 documentaries that I did on this channel, is purely based off harassment online and egos when people actually seen each other. And unfortunately, somebody actually died, but it happens. But hey, Tax did what he did. Ultimately, this case took place in New York City, and with it taking place in New York City, regardless of whether Tax was, he claimed self-defense, but regardless of whether he was claiming self-defense, there should have not been a gun in that venue regardless. And that's why Tax got 35 years, because he intentionally brought a gun into that venue, knowing he had a gun in that venue, knowing in New York City as a convicted felon you can have a firearm, let alone non-convicted felons can't have a firearm in New York City. He intentionally brought that gun into a place with alcohol and a bar, which is another offense, and then he ultimately ended up killing somebody. So, I feel bad for all parties involved, especially the person who lost their life. But honestly, this is all of Tax and Troy Ave's fault equally. These two men could have had a civil conversation years before this incident took place. None of these guys would be facing what they're facing right now. But, you live and you learn. Unfortunately, Tax will most likely be spending the next 35 years of his life, which he is 37 right now, in prison. Which I say it's better to just be a civilian. And, it's okay to be a good law-abiding citizen. But let me know what you guys think in the comments.